I work with Spider-Man.
You work for Spider-Man?
I work with Spider-Man, not for Spider-Man. New plan.
Is Spider-Man leaving the MCU a good thing for Hollywood and the movie industry? There are some interesting economics that are governing this, and so that's why I want to talk about in this video. By understanding the economics behind what's going on with Disney, Spider-Man, Sony, you're gonna understand more about the economics going on with Google, Apple, and Amazon. And it's gonna help you understand big policy debates that we're having here ahead of the presidential elections. Hi, I'm Craig and welcome to Market Power, where we look at the power of markets and economics to shape our world. And once you understand that power, you're going to be able to understand the consequences of the decisions we're making, which will let you make meaningful changes in your community and in your personal life. And this Spider-Man MCU divorce is a clear example of economics governing what's going on here. I want to go back and think more broadly about what's going on in the movie industry today and how dominant Disney is. Disney's dominance has been on my mind ever since I saw a tweet a few weeks ago by Alex Tabarrok talking about how Disney was just dominating the box office this year. And the question was, is this because Disney is a monopoly, or is it because they're just better at making movies than everybody else? A lot of people would probably respond that it's Disney's monopoly, but you have to think about what it is that leads to monopoly profits. The way monopolies get high profits is by raising the price through restricting output. If we just look at that right there, restricting output to raise the price, that will tell us what's going on with this monopoly story here. It just doesn't make sense to say that Disney is succeeding because it's a monopoly. First, are they restricting output? No, obviously not. They're creating too many movies. They are just, like, we are getting fatigued with Disney reboots. If we look at the top, obviously Disney has franchises and reboots in there. But as we keep going down the list, we're gonna see that poor Dumbo who is just forgotten in the whole reboots mania. They're not restricting how many theaters they're released to either, because these movies get released to just about every theater. So Disney isn't restricting output, and it's very clear why. They don't control the consumer prices. Theaters set those prices, and the prices are uniform across movies. It doesn't matter if I'm gonna see the top movie of the year or if I'm seeing the crap movie that my kid wants me to take him to. Like, I'm gonna pay the same price for a ticket. So Disney has nothing to benefit from restricting the theaters it's in, because they can't actually raise the prices. This is actually how you want to take care of a monopoly. In a classic model, a price ceiling is what gets the monopoly to produce what we would have in a competitive market. So is Disney doing so well because they're just really good at making movies? Yeah, I think Spider-Man is the classic example. The first set of Spider-Man movies did fine. They kind of tailed off with Spider-Man 3. The Amazing Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, they were not doing that well. And that's not because Sony didn't have the resources. They used amazing caliber actors and just weren't able to execute to the degree that they could when they got Marvel in there helping them out. The success of the Tom Holland Spider-Man franchise is inextricably linked to Disney and the MCU making those movies better. So is it a good thing that Disney doesn't have their hand in it? I just don't think so, because the value that Disney is adding is a higher quality movie. It's not that they are adding some sort of monopoly power and forcing people to watch their movies. They're just making better movies. And so I'm worried that Sony thinks that they can go at it on their own and they're not gonna succeed. The one bright spot I have in my mind is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which is an amazing movie and one of my all-time favorites. And seeing what they were able to do there gives me a little bit of hope that they'll be able to make a good Spider-Man movie without Disney. But it's just gonna be so hard given how much the canon in Spider-Man is now synced into the Disney MCU. How's this going to help you with what's going on in the business world today? Well, there's a lot of talk right now about monopolies and breaking up monopolies such as Google or Facebook. And we have to think about what they're providing to us. Are they restricting quantity to increase prices? Actually, no. A lot of those businesses are providing free services to consumers, and they're adding value to our lives. In fact, the effects of monopoly in Google and Facebook are very similar to the real effects of monopoly in Disney. The real effects of monopoly in Google and Facebook is that they have some monopoly power over advertising. So they're not exercising monopoly power over consumers, they're doing it over the advertisers. Same with Disney. Disney does not have have monopoly power over consumers, they have monopoly power over the theaters. They can get theaters to do things that they wouldn't normally do because of that monopoly power. So whether you think we should break up monopolies like Google, Facebook, or Disney depends on who you think is receiving the most harm. Consumers just aren't being harmed that much, but advertisers and theaters might be. Should we break up those monopolies to help those industries, or should we be concerned about you and me, the consumer? I have 2 other videos to check out if you like this one. I've got one on trends in box office revenues and another on economics in the Marvel Universe. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and share this video. We'll see you next time.